Welcome to another PYA webinar on yachting destinations in collaboration with BWA Yachting. Today we're going to talk about the wonderful country of Greece. My name is Kim Llorente. I'm the operations manager at the PYA. For those who don't know us, we're the Professional Yachting Association. We're based in Antibes, but we have members from all over the world. We have been investing a lot of energy in the past few years to increase our visibility and do more events like the webinar from today. And so make sure to subscribe to our newsletter to not miss any of them. Today, I will be sharing my role as a host with George. I will let him introduce himself and his team. Thank you, George.
Thank you very much, Kim. My name is George Petsos. As Kim said, I am the Managing Director of BWA Yachting Greece. With us, we will have Martina Iconomidis, our Operations Director, Nasos Damalitis, our Immigrations Officer, together with Maria Ntouka-Montesantou, who is our expert. She is the Managing Director of SOS Yachting, and she will discuss about all the new regulations about each charter. First of all, I would like to start thanking you for joining our webinar. It's a great honor for us. And special thanks are due to PYA for giving us the opportunity to introduce Greece in this great audience. We will begin by setting our agenda. So today we'll introduce Greece by myself, George Petsos. After that, Ms. Martina Iconomidis will discuss about all the operation technicalities that a captain needs to know before entering Greece. After that, we'll discuss about all the immigration procedures that every crew needs to know and captain by our immigration officer, Nasos Damalitis. And Maria Ntouka-Montesantou will talk about everything that you need to know about the new charter platform. After that, our two captains, some of the most well-known here in Greece and abroad, Captain Stuart from Miss J and Captain Nikos from Motor Yacht Belita, will give you a better picture from captain's point of view about Greece and what Greece has to offer. After that, we will be very happy to discuss any possible questions you may have and answer everything, any question that you may have regarding cruising in Greece. Now I'll stop sharing. And as you may know, the Greek coastline expands in 8,500 miles or 13,600 kilometers. Just to give you an indication of the opportunity to explore Greece, 13,600 kilometers is equal to the 30% of Earth's circumference. This is how much you can explore here in our country. Our country offers 9 months of mild weather, including the world-famous Greek summer. The best period to visit Greece is from the beginning of April to October. In some areas, such as Rhodes and Crete and some other islands, the mild weather expands even to November. So this makes Greece as a great destination for summer as well as the winter period. Because of this mild weather, Greece can be the ideal place for winterizing yachts, since there is an international airport in Athens with daily connections to all major countries in Europe, the US, and the Middle East. Our in-house technical team has a large portfolio of many significant shipyard projects, and can absolutely give all the information, technical assistance a captain may need in order to prepare his yacht for the summer period. Additionally, our in-house customs officer can give all the information and assistance for any of the TPAs, any of the customers that will be using TPAs. More to this, our logistics department, which is specialized to moving parcels across Greece, can give all the information a captain may need to move parcels, to move spare parts, to move anything they may need. Now, we'll move to what Greece has to offer to your guests. First and most foremost, its culture and fantastic sceneries, as you may know. As you know, Greece holds a pedigree of 3,000 years of history, 90 UNESCO monuments, and together with the mythology, the iconic landmarks, combined with the 110 archaeological museums, yes, 110 archaeological museums, offers the perfect environment for history lovers. Additionally to this, the 230 habitat islands out of the total 6,000 islands offer an unprecedented scenery that changes in front of your eyes at an astonishing pace. Combining with the picture-perfect beaches creates the right environment for great and relaxing holidays while you're grazing the Greek waters. During this webinar, we will have the chance to show you a sample itinerary by our operations director, Martina Iconomidis, And she will offer you a small taste of what your guests will experience while cruising Greece. And this is quite a lot, and you will see as we move along. Now, we will discuss about the most famous locations. Starting from the Ionian Sea, some of the most famous islands is Corfu, Kefalonia, Zante with the famous shipwreck, Lefkada, Sivota, and many more. For the Aegean, of course, the well-known Mykonos, offering all-day and all-night wild parties, the spectacular Santorini with the amazing sunset, combined with the serenity of Paros and Syros. Just to give you an indication, quick indication about Santorini, is one of the most Instagrammable places of the world right now. As far as the Dedokanis is concerned, worth mentioning the serene island of Rhodes, of course, the birthplace of Hippocrates, Kos, who is the father of medicine, as you may know, Leros and Patmos, and quite a lot of more islands. Moreover, on the Argosaronic Sea now, Spetses, with the aristocrat atmosphere, which is really a really nice island very close to Athens, Hydra, Aegina offer also fantastic experiences. Crete is almost so famous for the history, Myconian and Mykonos history and all this history that you may know, and a well-known destination for culinary destination. Lastly, I would like to tell you that our company offers 360-degree services using our in-house departments in 65 locations in Athens. So in 65 locations, you can find the BWA logo and you will have somebody assisting you throughout the season. Thank you very much for listening to me. I'm passing the floor now to our operations director, Martina, who will give you more information about operations. Thank you.
Thank you, George.
Good afternoon from my side as well. As George very kind explained to you and listed to you, Greece has so much to offer and show. However, there is a lot of planning and organization beforehand for yachts and our customers to enter the country. Depending on the status of the boat, there is a differentiation on the cruising permits that have to be organized upon arrival. There are several entry points and exit points which has to be organized, and the yachts have to know where they can enter, when they can exit, so that it goes smoothly for the guests' arrival and departures. Greece has to comply to the safety net regulations, and we have to organize beforehand the TEPAI tax. Course, with a new regulation of the e-charter, which Ms. Maria Ntouka-Montesantou will go in more details for you. A lot of changes this year on the operation side. Our teams are standby to assist on all those challenges with the local clearances, which have to be followed and should not be forgotten. Anchorage restrictions are not so many, but they're still on some destinations, like the Turtle area in Zakynthos. Another point which has to be mentioned here is the lack of proper and organized marinas in Greece. There are just a few ones at which we can pre-book and organize berths. Due to high demand on spots, they're requesting prepayments. And it's getting very difficult on changing the dates. We have a new marina in Athens, Vouliagmeni, which offers additional berths since last year, which we hope it will help more the huge demand for Athens. On the rest of the ports, we are still working with the harbor masters at the commercial ports, where the arrangements are based on first served, first comes basis. However, our offices, due to the good communication with all sides, are here to assist and arrange everything to the client's needs. I want to mention that the Corinth Canal has announced that they will reopen on May 1st. So this will help a lot. The yachts to cross through and not have to go around the Peloponnese. Although I need to list here that the peninsula is very, very nice and can offer some very good anchorage spots, which the yachts have, especially during COVID, like to remain there on anchorage. Taking now the opportunity to share with you one of our basic itineraries, which we share with our clients. So I'm starting with the closest island to Athens, from where mostly the charters begin, Little Aegina, which is known for the Temple of Athea and Apollo. The distance between Piraeus and Aegina Island is around 17.5 miles. It is the island is spectacular and is very known about the delicacies of pistachios. As a close anchorage point for nearby Aegina is a little inhabited islet, Moni, which has lovely and turquoise waters. From there, we can continue to the lovely island of Poros, which is known for the full pine forests and about the famous Russian beach. From Poros, you can hop to Hydra, which is about 10,000 miles. So very close. The island has a unique architecture. They do not have any vehicles on the island, so a donkey ride is always a very nice opportunity to explore the little Hora. From Hydra, we can continue to the lovely Spetses Island, which has an aristocratic ambience. And very close to Spetses is Portocheli, where there is an organized marina and offers a berth option for all those close little islands. From there, we suggest a short trip to Nafplion, which has relaxing strolls, which is also very close to Epidavrus and Mykin. And there are also several wineries around which can be visited for wine tasting. Then we can continue as a short trip as well to Monemvasia, which is at the peninsula and has a beautiful rocky castle. All those destinations, depending on the guest preferences, on the duration of the time that the guests want to explore in the area, we assist which destination is better to be visited at which day, because those are the closest islands to Athens and of course the most visited as well. Finally, what I want to mention here is that we're always striving to find new destinations, as George said, and new things to do, new openings across Greece. For this year, we believe that a visit to the little island of Alonissos will be worth visiting. There is an underwater museum which has a shipwreck which goes back to 425, 420 before Christ, discovered in 1985, and it is open during the summertime for diving. We believe that in the area of Leros, there is waters are so nice, and there is a lot of fish. They're having a lot of dolphins. So if anybody is interested on seeing dolphins, it's an area which should not be missed. And of course, we have as a new opening in Athens, the Hotel One and Only, which has opened and will be a main attraction as well for the guests. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martina.
Thank you very much, Martina, for this great introduction to operations procedures. And now Nasos Damalitis will tell us about all the information a captain and a crew need in order to do safe and quick immigration procedures. Nico, the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, George. My name is Nasos Damalitis, and I'm representing BWA's creation department here in Greece. First, I would like to inform you about the main key points for your non-EU crew movements during your stay in Greece. The first point that I want to inform you about is that only main ports of Greece are supported with an immigration office in order to be able to arrange your crew movements based on the boat's itinerary. It is really important for us having a 48 hours notice before your crew arriving or departing in order to be able to arrange all the required paperwork with the local authorities and to be ready to support you as good as we are able to. In general, the time that is needed to complete a stamping in or a stamping out procedure for your crew is about 30 minutes, which it may vary depending the port that you will be. On this procedure, the crew must be in the immigration office with us for a typical identification and at the end of the procedure from the authorities. Also, I need to mention the necessity for the non-EU crew to have a seaman's book on their hands, since at the most ports or locations, it is a mandatory requirement to complete formalities for the non-EU crew. So without it, we may not be able to stamp the crew in or out of the country. Last thing that I need to mention is the repatriation rule that Greek immigration authorities follows. For that reason, the non-EU crew who wants to depart from the boat, they have to issue a flight back to the country of residence, depending on the passport that they are holding. Meaning that, for example, a British passport holder, they have to issue a flight ticket back to UK in order to be able to stamp them back in when they ask to depart on the boat. That's the main key that I want to point out. Thank you so much for your time.
Nico, thank you very much for all the information that you gave to us. Now we will have the pleasure to have Maria Ntouka-Montesantou with us to give us all the latest update about its charter. And I'm sure that a lot of people would like to have your input, your viewpoint, Maria. The floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, George and Kim, for the kind invitation. I'm sure that some of the participants already know me and may have seen my presentation about the new e-charter permission platform. I'm so sorry for hearing this again. For those who don't know me, my name is Maria Ntouka-Montesantou. I'm the Managing Director and Operations Manager of SOS Yachting Greece. And I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, these are the topics that we're going to discuss. So these are the news and updates for Greece. What you have to do before, during, and after the chartering, some country specifics, and I'm going to close my presentation with the Greek warnings. What are the news for Greece? SOS Yachting is celebrating the 5th office in Europe. We are celebrating our first year in Athens. And we are also celebrating at last the activation of the new e-charter permission platform as from December 29th, 2023. This was the last working day of 2023. And just after 1.5 years after the publishment of the law in 2022. Of course, this is ironic. Now, I'm going to present you who is eligible to charter in Greece and the two types of the Greek charter licenses. I'm going to discuss a bit for the 3-year Greek charter license, which is valid, which is in place since 1999 with the first law about the charter license, which was amended in 2014, and the last law, which is currently applied, published on April 2022. Who can charter in Greece? For the 3-year charter license, the traditional, please allow me to say that in that way, all EU flag vessels, regardless the length of a row or the material, is eligible to obtain this license, and non-EU flag vessels from 35 meters and over, and not made from wood. That is either steel, plastic, or aluminium. Who is eligible to obtain the new type of license, which is called specified period charter license? All EU and non-EU flag vessels from 35 meters and over, length overall and not registered length. Please check every time the certificate of registry, that is the length overall, because Maltese flag states the registered length, not the length overall. And same with the 3-year license, made either from steel, plastic, or aluminum, and that means no wood. 3 key points in order to obtain this type of license. The duration is 3 years. You can close it anytime the client wants to. The time frame to obtain this type of license is 3 weeks upon receipt of all the required documents. And in 3 quick stages, I will present you the process. The first one is the establishment of a branch office of the ship-owning company in case the flag is EU, or the establishment of a Greek company in case the flag of the vessel is non-EU. At the same stage, we obtain the Greek tax identification number from the competent tax office. In the meantime, we also apply for the Foreign Commercial Yacht Inspection Certificate. The Greek abbreviation of it is PEXEPA certificate. And this document is valid for 2 years. This document is issued either by the classification society of the vessel or through Greek classification societies, such as Phoenix Register of Shipping, that we cooperate with, and we can assist you taking this certificate. The advantage of the Greek classification society is that the physical inspection is not mandatory, so they're just checking the certificates. That means that it's cheaper and quicker. And once we have all the before mentioned documents, the announcement from the General Commercial Registry about the establishment of the tax of the branch office, the Greek tax identification number, and the PEXEPA certificate, we apply to the Ministry of Shipping for the Greek charter license. What will you need in order to establish the branch office? Please don't be afraid. All these services will be provided through SOS Yachting. The first one is the appointment of a legal representative who will be a physical person, either an EU citizen or a Greek citizen with social security number. We also have to appoint an accountant for the bookkeeping and the annual VAT returns and the quarterly VAT returns as well. And we will provide you with the registered address in Greece. The disadvantage in this type of license for non-EU flagged vessels only is that are subject to 22% income tax, since Greece has not signed any bilateral agreements for the avoidance of double taxation with non-EU countries, allow me to say paradise countries, such as Cayman Islands, Marshall Islands, Cook Islands, and generally all these nice islands. I'm moving to the good news, and I'm going to discuss now about the specified period Greek charter license. As already mentioned, this type of license is available for all commercial vessels, both EU and non-EU, from 35 meters length overall and constructed either from steel, plastic, or aluminum, and without the Greek charter license that I have already discussed in place. We do have clients that are moving from the traditional Greek charter license to the new type of license, but in order to do so, we have to close the Greek branch office and the VAT position. Some characteristics of the new type of license. This type of license is issued electronically through the governmental e-charter permission platform. The duration and the disadvantage of this type of license, it is that it's only available for 21 plus 7 days, 28 days in total per calendar year. These 28 days may correspond to one or more charter contracts. So the rule is we issue a license per charter contract. And this type of license is not approved by the Ministry of Shipping, but is approved by the port authorities of the port of embarkation, in case the port of embarkation is in Greece, or if the charter will commence outside from the country, it's the first nearest port authorities that will approve this license. What we have to do before the issuance of this type of license, it's 6 cumulative conditions that must be met. The first one, and the most time consuming, so I strongly advise you, if you have clients that are going to obtain this type of license, to initiate the process as soon as possible, is the obtainment of the Greek tax identification number. The Greek tax identification number issued by the competent tax office, which unfortunately, it's only one tax office for the whole country. It is the A Athens tax office. In order to apply for the Greek tax identification number, I'm going to need all the corporate documents legalized by apostille, along with the power of attorney and the board of directors resolutions that I'm going to provide you with, which has to be signed, both documents have to be signed, notarized and legalized by apostille. And once they check the application, the tax authorities will provide me with the Greek tax identification number and unique codes, which are called taxes net codes, that will give me access to the e-charter permission platform. That is the first step. Then, in order to obtain the license, we have to have in place signed charter agreements. We have to pay in advance the special cruising tax, which is called tepadach or tepadach plus. These are the Greek abbreviations. It's like a full sentence, I can say. This tax that I will present in the following slides must be paid in full in advance before the commencement of the charter. We also have to pay in advance the 70% of the VAT and 2 more conditions, that the owner does not have to have a permanent establishment within the country, that is a Greek branch office or a Greek company. And like the 3-year license, we also have to obtain the foreign commercial yacht inspection certificate, but only for vessels less than 500 gross tonnage. In three bullet points, what you have to do before the commencement of the charter and before the issuance of the e-charter permission, it's the obtainment of the Greek tax identification number and the advance payment of the 70% of the VAT and the special cruising tax, the tepadach, in full. I'm moving with the VAT regulations for 2024. As of April 2021, the Greek government decided to reduce the VAT tax base from 24% to 13% due to COVID, and in order to give initiatives to specific industries, including the yachting industry in Greece. For the brokers attending our seminar, it is advisable before applying the VAT rate on your contract to request the certificate of compliance of the vessel, because we do have a circular since 1997 that a further deduction from the tax base of 13% is applied depending on the navigation of the vessel. So in case she has unlimited navigation, the final VAT rate will be 5.2%. In case she has limitations on her certificate of compliance, will be 6.5%. By saying limitations, I mean X nautical miles from safe haven. It could be either 50, 75, 150, always depending on the flag state. And for the static charters and charters up to 48 hours, we will apply the full VAT rate at 13%. I'm not going to discuss further the taxes in Greece because it's not in this session. I'm moving with the tepadach and tepadach plus special cruising taxes and when these taxes are payable. Tepadach plus, and please take care of this, is payable for all commercial vessels from 7 meters under charter activity when the charter will start and end outside of Greece. This tax is payable even if the vessel is not eligible to obtain any type of license. For example, a 30-meter yacht, commercial, but under charter activity, not with only the crew on board, will have to pay this special cruising tax pro rata on the days spent within the country. Also, Tepadah Plus is payable for all commercial vessels from 35 meters and over not made from wood that will start and/or end in Greece. That means either embarkation or disembarkation, or even in case that the client is willing to change the guests in Greece, even the charter will start and end outside of the country. Last but not least, Tepadah, which is the lowest tax, is payable only in case the charter will commence and end within the country. That means that the new type of license is in place. Three characteristics of this cruising tax is payable pro rata only for the time spent within the Greek territorial waters. This tax is payable through the e-charter permission platform electronically through a unique payment code. And according to the Greek laws, this tax is liable the ship owner or the disponent owner to pay it. But this will not be the common practice, as the brokers are already informed and are informing from their side the clients that this tax is payable by the charterers, and including in the special conditions part the amount in order to be clear to the client that what is going to pay while being in Greek waters. I'm not going to bore you with the formulas for the Tepadah or Tepadah tax cruising taxes. This is just for our presentation. It's two different formulas provided through the Greek law of 2022. But I'm going to give you two examples just to have in your minds the numbers. For a vessel of 40 meters with 494 gross tonnage, for 7 days, the Tepadah cruising tax, in case the charter will start and end within Greece, would be 815 euros. For 14 days, 1,130 euros. And for a vessel of 55 meters, you can see the numbers, it's a quite normal tax, I would say. On the other hand, if the charter will start and end outside of Greece, or start or end outside of Greece, you can see that the numbers are much higher. The reason behind this is that the Greek government decided to give initiatives for the clients to embark and disembark within Greece. During and after the charter, what you have to do, of course, is to send all the charter contracts to your fiscal agents, either SOS Yachting or your fiscal agent in Greece. And in case there is a 3-year Greek charter license in place, of course, you have to provide us with the Greek charter parties. These are the Greek charter contracts are obligatory since 2016, according to the Greek law. And it's a charter party. Please allow me to say it as a cover charter contract, because it does not include terms and conditions. In case you use the Greek tax identification number, which is very important, please collect all the invoices from the Greek suppliers. And if you have the 3-year license in place, please provide us with copies of these invoices in order to claim the VAT back. This is it's a huge benefit for the owners to claim the VAT back. Why not, since the owner can take this money back? Also, what else do you have to do? For the new type of license, as I already mentioned, we have already paid the 70% of the VAT in advance before the commencement of the charter, and the rest 30% of the VAT will be payable through your fiscal agent via the periodical VAT returns. Of course, copies of these proof of payments will be provided to the clients at each stage. And for both type of the licenses, we have to file annual VAT returns and VAT returns for each fiscal period. These are the documents, and I'm going to close my presentation with 4 warnings. The first one, which is very important, is that you cannot, for both the type of licenses, is that you cannot change more than 75% of the guest list. That is 9 out of 12 guests on the charter contract. If you know that in advance there is a solution, please split the charter in two parts. If you need my assistance in that, please feel free to contact me via email, WhatsApp, or phone, and I will support you. Also, for the 3-year license, please know that all EU crew members or non-EU crew members with permanent address within Europe must hold the A1 form. This form proving that the crew member is social secured to another EU country, which is of course the flag state, and the crew member himself or herself has to apply for this form through the European Union official website. Number 3 is that for the 3-year license, you have to hold the Greek charter parties that I already mentioned. According to the Greek law, is in 5 original copies, but due to COVID, most of the port authorities accept the verified electronic signatures such as DocuSign. In case you will face any issues with the port authorities, of course you have BWA to assist you, but the solution that I propose is the charter broker to send on board the 5 original documents. The captain will sign on behalf of the owner, since there is a power of attorney in place, and when the main charter will be on board the vessel, will sign the 5 original copies. The last topic that I'm going to discuss very quickly is that the owner's use in Greece is 100% different with the rest of the countries. Unfortunately, this creates a lot of issues with our offices in Europe, but unfortunately or fortunately for the owners and the Greek owners, this is the Greek reality. According to the Greek law, when the owner is on board, the ultimate beneficial owner or family members or relatives up to 2nd degree, your ultimate beneficial owner is not allowed to have a signed charter contract in place. This is only for vessels with the 3-year or the new type of license in place, and also some clients without the charter licenses take this benefit in order not to obtain a Greek charter license. For example, if an owner without a charter license in place, either the 3-year one or the 28 days, by providing a letter for owner's use that I can give you a copy of it if you send me an email, and also BWA can provide you with a draft document. This document will state that the owner will be on board the vessel and no financial transactions will take place while the owner will be on board, and then the owner can use the vessel without the Greek charter license in place without changing the status from commercial to private. Since the new e-charter permission platform is in place, we have also to declare the owner's use online through this platform. The disadvantage when the owner is on board is that she or he will have to pay the excess duty and the duty on the fuel. That's it. Thank you so much from my end. I'm here for any Q&As at the end of the session.
Maria, thank you very much for streamlining the charter permission structure for us, which is very important, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we will have the great pleasure to have a highly respectable captain, Captain Stewart from the boat Miss Sarah J. He will share Nasos Damalitis' computer. Captain, the floor is yours. Hello, Captain. How are you?
Hello. Hello, George. Good afternoon. I'm
Good
fine.
afternoon.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's a great honor and pleasure to have you with us, Captain. We would like to have your view on Greece, how easy it is to cruise, how nice it is during the summer, maybe the challenges as well, we would like to know, and everything that somebody who has never visited Greece that he needs to have on his checklist.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I would start with, first of all, if somebody first time coming, make sure that you double check all your documents, your paperwork, make sure you have everything in order. I've worked with agencies here. BWA has always been fantastic with helping us with getting everything taken care of as far as crew list, passenger list, ship documents and so forth, and getting the check-in process very efficient and smooth. Other things I would look forward to is planning ahead, thinking about where you're wanting to go. The Greek islands offer so much, and there's always so much to see and diversity with each different island. You can find so many different flavors of Greece from each island. Some of the things I would take concern about is weather. You need to pay attention to certain wind characteristics during certain parts of the year. Most ports and most places are very easy to get into for safe haven if that's what you're looking for. And then think about where you want to go. We all know that Greece is a very widely known destination for a lot of tourists. And one of the advantages that I really appreciate is that being on a yacht, I'm able to move and go into areas where I can step aside from all of the busy tourist areas, and we can see the true nature of Greece. We can pull into the beautiful harbors, sit on an anchor, fall into a small, nice area that is well protected, and the people are very welcoming. They're very pleasant. It's just such a nice change from the very busy European touristy ports. If you're going to have crews on board, it's real easy to manage people coming in and out and checking on and off a vessel. BWA has made that a very easy process for us. I know that my crews are very appreciative of being able to arrange things ahead of time, come into the EU, and then check aboard the vessel. And it's a very efficient process. We've never had any concerns or issues within the country of Greece, and we've traveled many different parts of the country as well. I can't say more about the people. We really love it. We're always welcome. Anywhere we go, Rhodes, Naxos, Kos, Simi, it doesn't matter. We're always welcome. And that's the whole attitude throughout. Every port that we go to, they're happy to see you. They're willing to work with you. They understand the difficulties here that you might be concerned about with operating a vessel, mechanical issues, so forth, or sometimes it's just a matter of finding fuel. And they're so willing to go through extended processes to help you get things that you need to get. It may take a little bit. You may have some difficulties at one island where you have to have a part shipped on a fruit to the island. That just gives you more time to relax and enjoy the people on the island. So it's very orientated and very comfortable when operating a vessel in the Aegean, the Ionian, the Northern Aegean. It's very easy to get around, and people are always willing to help you.
Captain, it's a great honor to giving us the opportunity to serve you, and thank you very much for all the information and the kind words that you shared for us. It's a great honor. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, George. I appreciate it, and thank you for inviting me, and hope you have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I was just informed that Captain Nikos, he's experiencing a problem with his internet because he's on the yacht right now, and he may not be able to join us. So I think it's better to proceed to the Q&A session. If you have any questions, we would be more than happy to answer and give you all the information you need for a safe and very, very nice cruising in the Greek waters. So, any questions?
Thank you, George, and thank you everyone for all your presentations. It was very, very interesting and very informative. I saw that in the chat a few questions came up, and even in the questions tab, a few were answered already. We have a couple of questions that have come in outside of the webinar, so I will ask them to you and see if we can get answers live.
Absolutely.
So are there any limitations in terms of when it comes to Russian customers? Do you have any restrictions for them in place in Greece at the moment?
We have to say that we follow the European directives regarding this issue, but please be rest assured that we run all the know your customer regulations and all the procedures we need to follow in order to know exactly the beneficiary and who is on board. Obviously, this is something that the strategy comes from our headquarters, but this is how we treat this issue, I can say. We are very cautious, as you know, and we have to follow the European directives. But if you need any specific information regarding this question, I think it's better to proceed to send to me so that I can forward to our headquarters.
Thank you, George. Another question, which obviously is related to what is happening at the moment, is there any influence on Greece from the current war situation?
This is a very nice question because I've had this discussion in the past with captains. What I can say is that Greece is about 700 nautical miles from the war zone. This, to give you an indication, it's about the same area distance covering from Greece to Spain. Okay, some parts of Spain. It's quite far. Obviously, this is something that we are checking constantly, and I cannot see during the summer any issues regarding the war in Gaza and Israel. This is it. It's too far. It's too far from us.
Excellent. Thank you, George.
Thank you very much.
So we received a question in the chat that you might be able to answer already. Can a yacht enter Greek waters before the license period starts to prepare for all the charter?
I think Martina will answer, or Maria Ntouka.
Maria, yes, yes, she can enter Greece. We have to declare it online on the e-charter permission platform as empty run, but we will need at least 3 to 4 weeks to obtain the license. So if the client is willing to come before, of course there is no problem, and BWA will take care of all the formalities for the vessel as without the license in place. That's it, but please keep in mind that we need at least 3 to 4 weeks to obtain the license, because the obtainment of the Greek tax certification number we may take at least 7 to 10 working days alone. So please be prepared for that. I'm on the time. I'm working at least 25 to 30 yachts for this summer. So I'm pretty sure that this is the right time to initiate the process. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Someone is asking about sport fishing boats, if they are available for fishing charters, or if there are any center console boats available for the same. Do you have an answer on the spot for that?
We do have quite a lot of yachts available, smaller yachts for specific actions, let's say, in Greece. But this is something that you need to discuss with operations. I think the person who asked this, it's better to send a question directly to operations.gr@bwa.com so that we can give a written specific answer. I can say another question, Kim. Olga Rostokina. Good afternoon.
Yes.
In case of any changes in regulations, anchorage restrictions. Again, I think it's better to send an email to operations.gr, and we'll have all the updates. We are constantly running on updates, and we are checking the laws. Martina
There
will
is
have more answer.
Dedicated team who is working with our offices and gets all the updates. So there is no special website available for that, as it changes very often. So whatever the concerns or the questions are, just pop us an email and we will be happy to answer everything.
Thank you very much. Sarah is asking, what about jet ski areas? Is it free? So probably, is it possible to use your jet skis freely when you are in the area of Greece, or are there designated areas only?
You can use the jet skis. You have to follow certain restrictions, like the distance from the beaches, the speed that you have if you enter any port. However, we are happy to give you all the restrictions so that the yachts know from beforehand.
Perfect. Thank you, Martina. So I have a question for Maria. Actually, it came to my mind during her presentation. So you've mentioned that all EU crew must hold an A1 form that provides the information related to their social security in another EU country. Does this mean that in Greece there are regulations that require a crew that stay in Greek waters or are on a yacht in Greece for a certain amount of time, let's say 6 months, in Greek waters or in Greece, that they need to pay social security taxes in Greece unless they are paid in another European country?
Thank you, Kim, for the question. This is only for the vessels with the 3-year Greek charter license in place. The Greek port authorities will check only EU crew members or those with the permanent address in European Union, that they are social secured anywhere in Europe, not especially in Greece. There are not special regulations to be social secured in Greece for the time being, at least. So according to the current laws, and in order to avoid any delays for the charter, it is strongly advised to obtain the A1 form before the commencement of the charter, because it is something very easy and quick for the crew to take it. 100% EU crew members are social secured under the flag state. So since it is easy, why not to know it before the commencement of the charter and face it while being in Greek waters?
Perfect. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
There was a follow-up question on this, but I think you've answered it already, because it's Dario wrote, A1 form is requested also for crew of a private yacht?
No.
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 Okay.
Only commercial yachts with the 3-year Greek charter license.
Excellent. Thank you. There is one more question that we can take from Elena. If we have a license for 21 days and 2 charters, should they be one by one with no gaps, or can we have a pause in between, so pause the license?
Of course, you can have a gap between the 2 charters. This is not a license, it's 2 licenses because it's 2 charters. So we obtain the Greek tax certification number once, and this is a unique number that will stay in place till we close it after when the owner will wish to close the VAT position in Greece, and we will apply per charter per charter party. So we have to receive at least 3 to 4 weeks before the commencement of the charter the signed charter contract in order to input all the data on the e-charter permission platform. Also, we have to receive the funds. By saying funds, I mean the 100% of the Tepadah cruising tax and the VAT amount that we'll have to pay it before the commencement of the charter. And then our application will be subject to approval by the port authorities of the port of embarkation, and we'll receive it, of course, at least before the commencement of the charter. So it is, as per my presentation, it is charter party license per charter party. So it's 2 charter parties, 2 licenses. Of course, you can have a gap between the charter parties. In this time, we have to declare that the vessel is within the Greek territorial waters as empty run on the charter permission platform. And that's it. We will follow the formalities as usual.
Perfect. Thank you, Maria. I think we've run out of time. So thank you again to our guests for the extremely informative panel that we had today. It was very, very, very helpful. If anyone has any further questions, please feel free to contact the BWA Yachting team or the SOS Yachting team or the PYA as well. If you have any unanswered questions, please drop them an email. Okay. Thank you so much for your help today, and see you soon. Have a lovely day forward.
Thank you very much, Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.